Hello and welcome to the Main Street Mavericks, the official podcast of the San Diego Regional East County Chamber of Commerce. My name is Nick Dreyfus. I am the Vice President of Business Development for INET right here in San Diego. Joining me today is my co-host, Rick Wilson, the CEO of the San Diego Regional East County Chamber of Commerce. Rick is the engine behind so much of what makes the chamber and this region run. And we are glad to have him on the mic with us today. Rick, welcome.
Thank you very much, Nick.
Got it. Well, every episode, we do sit down with a local business leader to uncover the story behind the storefront, the passion behind the product, and the impact these businesses have right here in our community. Today is a special one. We have an incredible guest with us from East County Schools Federal Credit Union, an institution that has been quietly building the financial backbone of the East County education community for nearly 70 years. Now, East County Schools Federal Credit Union was founded in 1956 by employees of the Grossmont Union High School District. Over the decades, the credit union has grown to serve school employees, retirees, volunteers, and their families all across San Diego County. Their mission has always been the same: to support and strengthen the financial lives of these who teach, guide, support, and protect our students. This year alone, ECS has taken home the East County Honors 2025 Award for Financial Services. And the woman leading us through this conversation today was also named Business Volunteer of the Year at that same gala. The credit union was also recently featured in the 2026 and 2027 Superintendent Issues publication, recognizing the school they do, the work they do for the school leadership across the county, like Professional Development Scholarship launched this year, which we will hear more about later. Denise Cuellar is the Vice President of Business Development at ECS. She brings over 2 decades of banking experience to the credit union, having previously served in leadership roles at Home Bank of California, Home Street Bank, Chase, Countrywide, and Wells Fargo. Since 2015, she has been deeply embedded in the East County community, serving on boards, committees, including East County Boys and Girls Club, the East County Economic Development Council, and the Olaf Weghorst Museum, the East County Chamber Foundation Board, and the Grossmont Healthcare District Facilities Committee. We're wondering how she gets it all done, but she does oversee patient facilities at Sharp Grossmont Hospital. She also is a Rotarian, a past board member for the East County YMCA, and proud graduate of East County Leadership Program Class of 2020. At the Chamber, Denise wears more hats than almost anyone we know. She chairs both the Travel Committee and the Ethics and Business Committee. She serves as Vice Chair of Marketing. She sits on the Women in Leadership Luncheon Committee, and she's the Chair-elect for the 2027 Chamber Board of Directors. Now, Denise, welcome to the Main Street Mavericks. We're excited to dig into your story.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here and very thankful.
Right. Well, let's start with the beginning. ECS has been a part of the community since 1956, founded by Grossmont Union's High School District employees. Walk us through the story of how the credit union has grown over the decades and how that original purpose still shapes the way you serve members today.
Absolutely. And as you said, we are nearly 70 years old this year, and really we were born out of the local Grossmont High School employees seeing a need for one of their fellow coworkers, and the camaraderie of building a union, right? Some sort of support for this individual really is where the idea came from. If we can do this for this one employee, we can do this for all of us. And the credit union was born out of that want to help each other. And it was just one high school. It wasn't even the entire district at that point. It was just Grossmont High School. And then it grew to Grossmont High School District. And then it grew even larger to just schools in East County. And then did another growth spurt and Now, as of, I'd say about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit shorter than that, we can serve the entire county of San Diego at this point. So very excited with our growth.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that, Denise. I got a question for you. ECS is much more than a financial institution. From scholarships like the new classified employee PhD scholarship, PD, excuse me, scholarship, the community events like your annual shred day, the way you show up almost every day at a chamber function. The credit union is woven into the fabric of East County. Can you talk a little bit about how the credit union contributes to this community beyond providing financial services?
Absolutely. And really, Rick, it's thanks to our relationships with organizations like the Chamber that helps with our endeavors of building the local community. Our relationships with our local school districts also vital to ensuring that we can support the local community. Like you mentioned, the annual Shred Day, we've been doing that for over a decade. And that is something that really is open to our members or anybody within that school umbrella, the education umbrella. Every single year, we've got at least one full truck that is filled at this point, and looking to possibly add a second day because it is that popular. Also, the professional development scholarship that was launched this year bears the name of our CEO, Steve Devon, that was with us for, over 21 years. For the education world, was very well known, but specifically for the classified employee that's out there. The classified employee a lot of times doesn't get the funding built into the budgets the way your certificated a lot of times has access to. So, us offering a professional development scholarship specifically for those classified employees really helps meet that need and bridge that gap for those vital employees. We're talking your school bus drivers, your janitors, your food services employees. And a lot of these guys are going, you know what? I want to get my credentials. I want to move up in my career within the education world. So that's what we are supporting this year. And it's been met with some really great success so far. We've had over 30 applications for the first round, and we'll be launching a second round in October because of its success. To the teacher supply drive that we're also launching this year. That's another community driven type of outlet and resource that we give to our education community that is not necessarily just a checking account and a loan or a high yielding savings and checking, which we have that as well. But the teacher supply drive, that's another example. You are just giving back to the community, right? Come and get the supplies that you need for your classroom to support this next generation that unfortunately school budget doesn't cover for these guys. So just a few examples.
Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing.
my wife is a teacher, so I trust me, we know that very, very well. Well, in the market full of big banks, online lenders, fintech apps, what is it about ECS that sets you apart? What is the experience that members are going to get that they couldn't get anywhere else?
I'd say the number one thing that sets us apart, Nick, is our CU to You program. We have a service that will bring your banking to you, employee, to your school site Monday through Friday, as long as the credit union is open. We offer CU to You. The only thing I can't do is bring you a barrel load of cash or maybe take a barrel of cash from you. But besides that, we can pretty much do everything at the comfort of your school site because we know you can't leave for lunch and go, okay,
Right.
I got to go do my errands and my banking now. You've got to be there on site for the kids. So we bring the credit union to you. It's a 24-hour notice is what we ask for, but a lot of times we can accommodate same day. And it's probably the one thing that I hear when I'm out in the field is, I can't believe you guys come to us. I can't believe this service is out there. It's just something very unique and rare in this day and age with our financial industry being such a growing, so much competition out there, and there's so many giants out there that really building that connection, knowing your branch manager or your, employees inside of the credit union. That's something that we really pride ourselves on, that we know each other by name. We know our members that call in. A lot of times we know their voices as they call in. So that definitely, I would say, is what sets us apart in this day and age.
I couldn't agree more. I think you're totally right, because as we look at the bigger banks, they're almost trying to hide in between or behind those walls. And for you guys to come outside those walls on a regular basis is just amazing. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
So thank you again, Denise. So we've got an incredible program that's been going for almost 20 years with ECS and the Chamber, and that newly formed travel committee that we just started, which offers one of the most unique travel programs, really programs in the Chamber at all that we offer, and we call it the Educators Tour. So for people who don't know about it, what is the Educators Tour and the travel committee, and what kind of trips have you put together, and why should Chamber members get involved?
Well, it's one of the most unique, like you said, and exciting times for the credit union and for our members and educators and chamber members that have joined us. The month of July typically has been our month of travel. So the educator tours is, like you said, something that the credit union and the chamber has been partnering on for over 20 years and have gone to amazing locations like Switzerland and Greece and Spain and China, Ireland, Australia. The last few years, we've gone to Croatia, Costa Rica, Thailand, Peru, and Argentina are our destinations this year. That's your 26 destinations. And we have about a 2-week vacation. And it's a full curated vacation that is 4 to 5 starred locations, bare minimum. It is just such a phenomenal experience. And what the educator tour is geared to is your educators that normally are working during those 10 months, those 10 or 11 months throughout the year and have that summer time off. We've really tried to gear the trips to be educational in a sense as well, right? They're great destinations. You can bring back this knowledge to your next year's class, but this is a trip that's open to anybody. I was a educator tour traveler before I was a credit union employee. And that really was an eye-opening experience that was just phenomenal. It was such a wonderful experience. Now, what is new and unique about the travel committee this year and moving forward is that we are looking to expand the travel tours and to duplicate what the success that we've seen in the educator tours. The educator tours are phenomenal, but they go during a certain time of year. So how can we really grow the travel committee and really tap into those other times of years and those other possible groups of interest that would be able to enjoy a travel destination in the future? So that is our goal within the next couple of years, is to really grow the travel committee to expand outside of the educator tours, just in case that July timeframe doesn't quite meet your needs.
Thank you,
Very
Denise.
well.
Great answers.
Well, one of the things that stands out about your work is how you actively connect the credit union to schools and educators that you serve. A great recent example is the Mount Miguel High School senior class that you visit, where you brought a group of students into the credit union for an interactive career experience across IT, marketing, operations, and even accounting. Walk us through how that came together and what that tells us about ECS showing up for the next generation.
Absolutely. Now, this is a great example of us meeting the need of our specific demographic and our members. We received a phone call from a local teacher that had the need for, she had an idea for a field trip for her marketing and business path students. And she really wanted them to be able to come on site rather than have a speaker come to her classroom and everybody just listen. And she wanted it to be more interactive and for them to really see a full scope of not just a financial institution, but just a business in general. So we brought her students to the credit union, and each one of our departments had a station set up for the kids to go and interview and get some information. Everything from your accounting department and our CFO line, new accounts and lending officers, to us in business development and marketing. We really had everybody on deck and participating. And at the end of the event, it was wonderful to hear the feedback from the high schoolers about, I had no idea that this role entailed these other items, right? These other
Yeah.
needs that you have to also think about within that job scope. So it was fun to hear that. And the second step of that is us going to the school sites to have an in-person digital simulation in their home, in their school site. So this is actually something that we're launching across every high school site that is interested in taking of this second part, simulation, digital simulation. This is a credit union wide program. It's called Bite of Reality, and it's about a hour and a half to a 3 hour simulation. And it really gives these teenagers an opportunity to make real life decisions, to be an adult in a safe place for a day, for a few hours, I should say. So that is the way we are trying to give back to the school. Let's tailor something that meets your needs, teacher and school site, but also we have these already nice package formulated programs that we can come on site and do a wonderful financial education simulation for these guys. So both examples of how you can come to us or we will come to you.
Fantastic. Thank you for doing that for our future that really depends on organizations stepping up and doing their part. And it sounds like you guys have not only done that, but you're going even the extra mile. So thank you for that.
That's the
Awesome.
fun part, to teach the
Yes,
next generation, give them the tools that they
absolutely.
need and that most of us didn't get when we were in high school.
True.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Denise. Had another question for you. So, very excited that you are the chair-elect for 2027 Chamber Board of Directors. And question for you is, what made you want to step into that level of leadership? And what is your vision for the chamber as you move into that role?
Ooh, big question. Well, I'd say just giving back to the community that has given so much back to me. I've been in the East County community now for over a decade working, and just a few short years ago have moved my entire family out to East County and bought a house, and we are as entrenched as you can be. So I feel like East County has opened their arms to me, and it's been such a welcoming experience for me personally. I want to give that back. I want to give that back to others that are like me that are coming into East County, or that are first starting their career and trying to, find the resources in a friendly hand. I want to be that positive example for not only the others in the community, but for my kids to see as well. That's something that definitely drives me, the example that I can leave for them. Now, the vision for next year, I would say, is just continuing the momentum that we have had the last couple of years. We really have built a great team. We've built a phenomenal board. And I really think that the momentum that we have seen even from last year into now, that is my goal, is to ensure that all of the systems that we've put in place and the positive progress that we've seen, that has continued on to next year and hopefully the year after.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm excited too, Denise. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have you. Thank you
Yes.
so much. So, as banking and credit unions have been through a wave of changes over the last few years, I mean, raising rates, new technology, member expectations are obviously shifting fast. What challenges have you faced as the local financial institution, and how have you been able to adapt and overcome them?
Well, I would say every financial institution, whether you are a gigantic corporation, corporate bank, or a small little guy, like most of your credit unions out there, I think all of us are going through the same type of transition and coming up with the same barriers. And really, the key to staying relevant is to think outside of the box, is for us to think differently than what we did 10 years ago. It's about embracing the fintechs and the new generation and the way banking is done now, because it's done very different than it was 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. So I'd say that's the most important piece to stay relevant is you have to embrace the new fintech features and fintechs of the world just in general, and to learn how to safely work with those vendors as partners rather than competitors. I'd say that's the most important.
Thank you for that. That's wonderful.
All right, Denise. So you serve on one of the incredible programs that we've done here at the Chamber that I've been so lucky to inherit, the Women in Leadership Luncheon Committee. So we refer to it as the WIL program, and it'll be our 24th year this year. What does this program mean to you, and why is it important for women in business to have that kind of space here in East County?
Ooh, well, it was my first committee that I ever participated in almost a decade ago now. And I'll say it's the one committee that I think almost all of us have been there since for that long, if not longer. That is how much dedication that you have from the women that sit and plan and really want to just champion the women of San Diego County. The wonderful thing about Will is we have always embraced it's not just about East County. It's about San Diego County as a whole and championing every woman out there that is being a leader, whether it's professionally or in your personal life and volunteering with the community. It really is just such an uplifting event. I cry almost every time I go, and that's okay because you feel very inspired and empowered. And I'd say the reason why it's so important is to continue that positivity and to continue that inspiration and to be champions for each other, to lift each other up as women, as community leaders. We always need space for that.
Awesome. Thank you, Denise.
Totally agreed. Now bring us home. Where do you see ECS heading next? What are the future plans? And how do you see credit unions continuing to evolve with the community?
Ooh, well, ECS next is embracing the San Diego County as a whole. The past 70 years, we really have spent all of our time in the East County region, and we do not ever want that relationship to falter or to change in any way. We just want to build on it. And we want to create the same relationship that we have in East County with North County and South Bay and Coastal and Northeast. That is our goal, is to really become the name here that we have in East County. ECS is a very well-known name in East County. We want that same type of connection to each of the regions of our county.
So fantastic to hear. And I mean, what a conversation, Denise. Thank you so much for being here today and for the work that you do every single day. I mean, gosh, we have no idea how you would fit that into a 24-hour day. I mean, it's unbelievable. And thank you for supporting schools, our educators and families, and then all of the ones that depend on ECS. It's just a phenomenal organization. And now I think we all know a little bit more, and we really appreciate that. Now, if you are listening and you are a school employee, a retiree, a volunteer, or a family member of any of those folks, ECS is built for you. Membership is open to you, and the team behind is exactly what kind of team you want managing your money. To learn more, head to their website. It is ecsfcu.org, or stop by the main office at 1069 Graves Avenue, Suite 100, right there in El Cajon. You can also reach Denise directly at 619-873-0113.
Yeah, thank you so much, Denise. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Main Street Mavericks. If you're a local business owner and you want to share your story on this show, reach out to us through the San Diego Regional East County Chamber of Commerce. And if you enjoyed this episode, share it, tag the chamber, tag the podcast, get the word out there, and help us shine a light on the businesses and the leaders who make East County what it is.
Now, until next time, keep supporting local, keep building community, and keep being a Maverick.